12 News, an important member of Brooklyn Park's police force, forced to take time off the job. Plus, an escape from winter. We found it in Plymouth. But first, plans to turn a golf course into homes.
Bayesian Oaks has been a 9-hole golf course for a number of years, and the family has decided to go in a different direction.
12 News starts right now. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. A once popular Plymouth golf course is closed, and soon the property will take on a different look. The question is, what will take its place?
Right now, there's a good chance it'll be a mixed housing development. Those plans will get a look at Plymouth City Council meeting. We get more from reporter Eric Nelson.
The building boom in Plymouth continues at an accelerated pace.
We're seeing development all over the city, and certainly this just is another one.
New neighborhoods are springing up everywhere. And the next one could be at the former Bayesian Oaks golf course.
They've talked to staff a number of times, and they've come up with a concept plan.
Pulte Homes has a deal to buy the site and is seeking city approval to build a mix of houses.
Try to mix them all together with the trails and the open space, and come up with a neighborhood that will bring different groups of people together.
If the Pulte plan goes through, the 68-acre site would have mixed-use family homes in the $400,000 to $500,000 range. Also, empty nester houses for around $300,000 and townhouses ranging between $200,000 and $300,000. However, this plan is far from a slam dunk.
Is it unexpected that the golf course is being developed? No, not really, but it does present different hurdles that, you know, a raw farm field doesn't have.
Mixed housing neighborhoods are a mixed bag and not that common in Minnesota.
I think the Minnesota market, it is more unique. I think if you go nationally, there is a lot more developments or neighborhoods that mix uses like this.
Now, Pulte officials declined to talk on camera today, but did say they hope to make a formal application by spring. Pulte has already had neighborhood meetings in Plymouth to get the ball rolling. Bayesian Oaks closed in 2014. Mike and Alex.
All right, Eric, thanks. Well, Golden Valley Police are asking for the public's help to catch a bank robber.
Police released these photos of the men that they're looking for. They say he held up the U.S. Bank inside Lunds and Byerly's on Duluth Street on January 4th. The man presented the teller with a note demanding money. He's described as a black male in his early 20s, about 5 feet 11 inches tall, with a thin build and a light mustache. If you have any information, you're asked to call Golden Valley Police or the FBI.
Brooklyn Park and the Three Rivers Park District are working together to create a destination park along the Mississippi River. The city owns 90 acres of parkland next to the 160-acre Coon Rapids Dam Regional Park, which is owned and operated by Three Rivers. And both sides are working together to develop a plan that will make the river more accessible.
It's been 40 years since we've updated this master plan for this park. The dam is complete. We opened up the walkway, which was, everyone was asking for that. And now kind of taking a look at the entire park and seeing how we can really make it as grand as the river.
So many people in our community don't have access to up north or to getting on the river and lakes and understanding what it's like to be a Minnesotan. And so we're hoping to kind of recreate that.
Plans are just in the early stages, but ideas include making the park a destination for canoeing and kayaking. There's also a proposal to rename the Hennepin County side of the park to eliminate confusion with the Anoka County side. The name under consideration, Great River Regional Park. A Brooklyn Park Police canine is back on the job after having emergency surgery.
Dingo has been with the department since 2008. Reporter Sonia Goen shows us why vets had to race against the clock to save his life.
He loves coming to work.
Officer Jeremy Halick and 9-year-old Dingo are constant companions. He raised the Belgian Malinois since the dog was 7 weeks old.
They come home with us. They go to work with us. He's with me more than my family.
They work the overnight shift together for the Brooklyn Park Police Department.
He's a member of the SWAT team. He also is deployed for both narcotics and looking for missing people or criminal suspects.
Last month, Dingo had to take some unexpected time off from going after the bad guys.
Noticed he was vomiting up his food. I then noticed that he was choking on a towel. that he had eaten.
Officer Halick took Dingo to the vet to get checked out.
They also noticed a very large tumor growing by his spleen.
Doctors raced against the clock to remove a 5-pound tumor on Dingo's spleen.
The growth that was removed was about the size of a grapefruit. They said that it could have ruptured at any time. If that would have happened, he probably would have bled to death in about 5 minutes. Sit.
Officer Halick says he's grateful vets found the tumor in time.
We were pretty lucky. I would have never known until it was too late if the vet would not have caught that.
This is Dingo's first week back on the job since the surgery.
The energy level is back. He was definitely happy to be back doing what he loves.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Oh boy.
Vets checked the tumor for cancer, and Dingo is cancer-free. Dingo will retire from the Brooklyn Park Police Department in July.
Teachers in the Robbinsdale School District will receive a slight bump in pay. The Robbinsdale School Board approved a 2-year contract retroactive to July 1st of last year. It calls for a 1.75% pay increase in each of the 2 years. According to the district, the average teacher salary will rise from $63,000 to $68,000. The district also agreed to hire 20 full-time substitute teachers to address a shortage that has affected districts throughout the state.
How do you prepare for an increasingly older population? A Brooklyn Park task force will make recommendations to the Planning Commission this week on ways to make the city more age-friendly. First is appointing an advisory group to help with communication, programming, and resources. The recommendations also include reviewing future housing and business developments so they're age-friendly, and looking at access to transportation. The task force says the city has many good things for seniors, but areas needing improvement will require long-term commitment and vision. The goal is to become a certified age-friendly city by 2020. Coming up, what a sleep apnea sufferer calls life-changing. She has a Maple Grove company to thank.
And then later in sports, I haven't drawn a lot of headlines, but the Wayzata girls basketball team is having a strong season.
But first, a slight warm-up, emphasis on slight. But temperatures at least get out of the single digits. We'll be right back. Student musicians at Cooper High School are putting their talents to work to raise money for improvements at the school's auditorium.
The auditorium was built 50 years ago, and really it hasn't been changed much since then. So there's a lot of lighting and sound and technical pieces that are really outdated.
The first priority is to raise more than $7,000 to replace the sound system. They've been using a borrowed one ever since the old one stopped working more than a year ago. Music directors are putting together a variety show fundraiser showcasing the many talents of students.
They prepare all on their own. They practice. Some of them have been practicing for months to get ready to audition for their act. So they really do go above and beyond, and they love performing.
This is the 4th annual fundraiser that started with an effort to raise money to buy band uniforms and choir robes. The show is scheduled for Friday, January 22nd, and tickets are $8 for adults, available at the door. Well, we all strive to get a good night's sleep.
But that is a challenge for the more than 18 million Americans who suffer from obstructive sleep apnea. In today's Health Check, Delane Cleveland has more on a new medical device developed by a Maple Grove company that's helping people rest better at night.
During sleep, the muscles and tissues of the throat help to keep your airway open.
The goal of getting a good night's sleep is an elusive one for people with sleep apnea.
Studies estimate that anywhere between 9 to 10% of our entire population is affected with sleep apnea.
Mary Machlinsky of Hudson, Wisconsin is one of those people.
When you're getting into a deeper stage of sleep, your tongue actually moves back in toward your throat, and so you keep waking up because you're choking, and so you never really get into that deep sleep stage.
Doctors diagnosed her 20 years ago and prescribed a CPAP machine to help her breathe at night. Only problem is she didn't like it.
I would just whip it off. you know, I kept it on for about an hour and a half a night.
Not only did that affect her health, but it prevented her from getting a good night's sleep. Thankfully for her,
Inspire therapy is a promising new treatment.
a Maple Grove company created a device called Inspire Medical Upper Airway Stimulation.
There's a lot of technology inside this.
12 News first met the creators 5 years ago, but now the device has FDA approval and patients are reaping the benefits.
I do think this device is a game changer, mainly because it's really changed the way we've looked at sleep apnea and how we treat it.
The device is implanted in the upper chest. During sleep, the system senses breathing patterns and delivers mild stimulation to the tongue and other soft tissues of the throat to keep the airway open. Patients control it with a remote.
So they turn it on, it makes a little beeping noise. They feel one tongue contraction so that they know the device is on. And then there's actually a 30-minute delay so the person can fall asleep.
Dr. Shaw surgically implanted the device in Mary at Regents Hospital in St. Paul this past October. And in that short time, it's been life-changing.
I feel much more rested. I feel a lot better. It's been great. I'm very thankful for it.
For Health Check, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
Doctors say the best candidates for the Inspire device are people with moderate to severe sleep apnea who have had difficulty using CPAP devices. Coming up, a place in Plymouth that will make you forget all about winter.
But first in sports, the Maple Grove girls hockey team is playing well as they get set for a couple of tough games. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. John Jacobson with sports. Now we start with the hockey team. Maple Grove girls doing very well and one of the best in the state right now.
Yeah, really having a good year again like they have had often, and got some big games coming up this week, though. We'll talk about that. The Maple Grove girls hockey team is enjoying another very strong season. They hope to continue their solid play in the last couple of weeks of the regular season. Maple Grove is ranked 4th in Class AA. They have a record of 13-3-2 against some strong teams. Last winter, they stayed undefeated until the end of the season, which put extra pressure on. So a loss or two hasn't been a bad thing, and they like how this group is progressing.
I'm very excited. I think from the start of the season, we've definitely become closer together as a team, especially with bringing in a new coach. It brought us very much together, and then that we've been working on the small things in practices that's been helping us win bigger and bigger games.
So they've been focused day in and day out on the littlest things and on the biggest things, and coming each and every day ready to work. And when we get to the games, playing the games hard and giving it a true read of where we're at, and then listening the next day when we were going over the chalk talk and the notes of here's what we did, here are the things we did great, here are some things we need to improve on.
Maple Grove takes a break from Northwest Suburban Conference play this week, but it will still be a challenging one. They host a solid Hopkins St. Louis Park squad Thursday, then host top-ranked Hill Murray Saturday.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to play in big games. It's a lot more to look forward to, and I think it teaches us what to do and how to handle those pressure situations.
After the 2 home games this week, the Crimson will be on the road for their remaining 5 regular season games. While other Lake Conference teams are getting most of the attention, the Wayzata girls basketball team is quietly putting together a good season. The Trojans entered Tuesday night with a 10-2 record. Both losses were close ones against solid teams. They lost a 2-pointer to Orono in the season opener and in overtime against Edina. The Trojans have won 6 straight. Included in that streak, a championship at the Hill Murray Holiday Tournament.
Yeah, it's really exciting to go and play a tournament where we see people that we don't usually play. We see how we match up with with teams that we don't really usually see, and it's really fun to know that we can compete with a lot of different teams.
Whether you're a little tiny kid or an adult, a trophy feels good. So the fact that we got to take home a trophy for the 2nd consecutive year feels pretty good. But you're right, it's mid-season, it's 3 games, but if it breeds confidence, then it's a good thing.
The Trojans have a core group back from a team that made a somewhat surprising run to the Section 5 4A final last season. Those pressure-packed tournament games definitely help prepare for this season.
It really boosted our morale right at the end of the season, and I think over the summer we tried to carry that on and bring it into our season this year, and I think it really did help us a lot.
I think we've had a really good start to the season, and we've kind of built off of what we had last year, which is really exciting, and we've really got our momentum going right now.
You can catch the Trojans live on Channel 12 and 12.tv Tuesday night as they host 9-1 Minneapolis Southwest at 7 o'clock. The game also replays Wednesday night at 7. Wayzata High School's Corrie King enjoyed a great senior season in football, and now he's doing more of the same in wrestling. Jason Melillo profiles him for this week's Sports Jam show on Channel 12. Here's a clip from that story.
King is ranked 5th in the state at 220 pounds, and his confidence on the mat is at an all-time high. King credits second-year head coach Eric Swenson for helping him develop his mental game and raise the expectations for the entire Trojan team.
Mentally, I'm so much tougher. It's crazy. Since Coach Swenson got here, from the moment that he got in the room, summertime meeting him, I was like, this man is crazy. This guy has ideas of what we want to do. What is his problem? He's totally changed every single wrestler in this room by far.
You can catch the rest of the Corrie King story and much more on Sports Jam. It's on each Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 3:30, 6:30, and 9:30 p.m. on Channel 12. Good luck to him the rest of the season. He's having fun.
Yeah, good little teaser for that
right.
story. Thanks, John. Still ahead, a place in Plymouth where you can quickly forget about the cold.
A colorful winter escape when we come back. And finally, need a break from those single-digit temperatures outside?
Head to Plymouth, take a deep breath, and smell the roses or tulips.
Everybody that comes in here says, boy, this must be a great place to work, you know. And I said, well, come in January. That's one of the nicest times when you can come in here. It does feel good.
It's between 70 and 78 degrees with the humidity between 70 and 85%, downright tropical over at Busch Roses. The tulip growing season is well underway, and of course they're gearing up for Valentine's Day. The warmer temperatures indoors make for a nice oasis this time of year with Gabbara daisies in bloom and all kinds of other flower varieties growing for florists throughout the upper Midwest. The 15 acres of greenhouses are all heated by 2 wood-burning boilers that produce steam heat, and they have wood chips at the ready outside. It is the most economical way to heat the facilities, and while you might think that the warmer indoor temperatures are the best part of the job, there is another perk.
It's a fun place to work because everything changes. Just about the time you get a little tired of tulips, they're gone. Just about the time you get a little tired of poinsettias, they're gone, and then you go into Easter lilies.
And Busch Roses does offer public tours of the facility. Maybe you want to wait, though, not those first couple weeks in February. They might be a little busy during that time, right?
It does sound like a good place to work, just for the weather inside.
That's right. It smells good as well. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again tomorrow, starting at 4.